Toucan Play That Game is proudly sponsored by NiceGameShop.com, the place to go for rare and unusual Asian games. Hi, I'm Michael. Take a seat and I'll tell you about Exit the Game by Thames and Kosmos. So, I'm not going to be able to really show you the game because this is one of those escape room games that you can only play once, and as such anything I show you would be spoiler, and I don't want to have any spoilers in this video. What I can tell you is that it is about solving puzzles and riddles in order to make your way through the adventure scenario, whatever, in order to get to the end, and you're tracking your time. You want to do as best as you can. Now, the way the game does this is that there is a decoder wheel, and this isn't spoiler. You see this at the beginning of each box, and you'll see there's actually 3 different boxes here. There are 3 different games, but in essence they are the same game, just with different puzzles, and they all have a decoder wheel. And the way these wheels work is you have different elements that you have to align for the different puzzles that relate to the outside, and that'll give you a number. That number then refers to a card, an answer card, and you'll look at that, and then you'll look at the number. It'll either say, no, this isn't an answer, what were you thinking? Or it will have a picture of all the different possible puzzles, and you have to figure out what puzzle you were actually trying to solve. What was it you were trying to open? And then from that, it gives you another card to look at. And if you've got the right card, then you know you've got the right answer, and it will allow you to see other cards that will reveal more of the puzzles for the later kind of puzzles to go through. So this is very much deemed a party game, one to do as a group, but it does work well for 2 players. It is a fun experience, except for it does involve destroying game components. This is literally a one-play game. You cannot go back, you cannot try it again, you cannot give it to someone else and let them try it. It involves drawing on components, tearing up components, cutting, you name it, that involves destroying components. One of these games probably involves it somewhere, which for me, I'm not very happy to do that. I'm not very comfortable to do that. Some people might love that and find it really cathartic, but to me it's needless destruction. And I can just about get over the writing, but when you start tearing stuff up and just hate it. Makes my skin crawl. So yeah, there's that. How does this actually... What do I think of the game? Well, the puzzles are very good. The puzzles are interesting, they're engaging, they're difficult. They force you to think outside the box, to think about things in a different way. However, they are a bit abstract. You see, the puzzles don't feel like they relate to the room necessarily. It's not, aha, I'm in this room, I look behind a painting, and what have I found behind this painting? Oh, a key. Oh, does this key fit in that lock? No, it's not things like that. It is all kinds of things. You've got maths puzzles, kind of spatial awareness puzzles, word puzzles, picture puzzles, you name it, this game has it. So if you like puzzles, this is fantastic. It is great fun. The puzzles are challenging but doable. And what helps make them doable is there are hint cards. So hint cards, each of the different puzzles you can be trying to solve will have 3 cards. First hint, second hint, and then solution. And what you do is you keep track of how many of these you've used, and it will affect your score at the end of the scenario. And these are quite good because it states in the rulebook you only count them if it was actually helpful. And so that's quite a nice factor. So if you look at it and you go, right, I already knew that, it doesn't count, which is good. It means that you're not lowering your score needlessly. And the fact that eventually you'll always be able to look at the solution means you're never going to be truly trapped. You can always go, right, I can't solve this one. If you are trapped, you can't solve it, you can look at the solution and then still progress with the game. It doesn't stop you dead there, which is a good thing. So yeah, replay value, there isn't any complexity. this really isn't that complex. The puzzles themselves are very challenging. That's going to be the main complexity. With regards to the rules and how to play, it is very simple. So yeah, I think that's everything I need to say. I really have enjoyed these. Value for money wise, I think the more people you get involved, probably the better value for money this is. But that brings me to my next point, because it says it's for 1 to 6 players. I wouldn't suggest doing it with 1. With 2, it's okay. Going above that, I think it would be fun from an experience of working together on the puzzles. But there's a slight problem. Most of the time, you've only got the information to be working on a single puzzle at a time. Which, when maybe the key thing of the puzzle is a single card, you can't really all be working on that card or doing what's involved for that. You can be like, oh, I figured out what we need to do. We need to do this. And then one person is doing that and the rest of the people are just waiting. And that's a slight problem with the scaling in this game. And I think the problem is if you go down to 1 player, then you're too reliant on just one person being able to have the knowledge and information to solve it. Whereas you need people thinking in different ways, bouncing off of each other, kind of spitballing ideas is a big part of the fun and enjoyment of this. So that is Exit the Game. What I will say just quickly is talking about the different ones without any spoiler, because we do have the free games here. Now, my favourite of these games was The Abandoned Cabin, and that was the first one we played. I think part of that is the setting felt a bit more normal and a bit better with regards to being an escape room. I also found the puzzles, I just enjoyed the puzzles more, and they didn't seem quite as hard. Then as we progressed through them, the secret lab was really much more difficult than the abandoned cabin. So that's something you might want to be aware of. I don't think any of them require any special knowledge particularly. It's more about just being able to interpret what's there. So you don't have to worry about, oh, secret lab, that's sciencey. No, you don't need to worry about that really. I mean, it maybe has a slight impact, but you'll be fine even if you don't have that knowledge. And again, you don't need to know Egyptian-y stuff to be able to do the Pharaoh's tomb, and you don't need to know about cabins in woods to do the abandoned cabin. Yeah, so that's Exit the Game. All 3 of them. They're all good. I've enjoyed them all. I think my favourite one was the abandoned cabin. Will I be picking up more as they come out? I think it will all depend on the price really as to whether or not I do that. So, do hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel as well as subscribing and sharing. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.